WhatsApp group of Air Warriors 1971 had an introduction on Antarctica a month and a half back. Now they showed more interest in knowing more and more about that thing. And who else will be the... All of you kindly mute your number. And what else? Who else could be telling them the real thing, the actual thing, what happened and what you did in Antarctica? I sent messages to all, and amongst the persons who responded, I have requested you all to attend. Thank you so much. We are amidst people who have done wonders after leaving Air Force, and we are thankful to them for giving us a patient hearing. And we would like to tell them that yes, Air Force was involved, Navy was involved for the logistic support of the scientists who went to Antarctica, and we all did the job very well. Now, may I request Yadu Das to start, give us an introduction. After that, I would request Air Marshal Khanna. I request Group Captain Yadu Das to start. After that, I request Air Marshal Khanna to take over and continue his short version. After that will be Air Marshal Khanna. Just 1 minute. Let me welcome Dr. Sharad Mukherjee, Shankar Malavde, and Natarajan formally and officially. Okay. Now please take over. I request Natarajan immediately after Air Marshal Khanna.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I retired in 2016 as AOM. My journey for Antarctica started in 1982 in Bhutan. Sitting in Lodrai, we were talking to Mr. Vora. He was explaining us what all happened in first expedition. He is the person who had gone on Mount Everest expedition also in 1965 and later for first Indian expedition to Antarctica. The way he told us the stories in the evening and also told us that the top people would have got perished in the first sortie of Chetak itself because of loss of direction on the helicopter. And that really enticed me, and I thought that will be a place worth visiting. So I started dreaming. After 6 months, when I was in AEB, I got a task from Air Headquarters that please select a team for Antarctica. And my request was that why not me also as part of the team. And sure enough, the third expedition started off with me, and that time I stand by NM Roy, which we both of us went together. And we were given the task that it has to be limited people. So limited people means we had to do multitasking. I went as flight engineer, flight gunner, and engineer. We were also told to take 1 Mi-8 and 1 Chetak from Indian Air Force and 1 Sea King and 1 Chetak from Indian Navy. Commodore Madhok and self, we both visited ship. We were the first Indians to have a look at the ship in Helsinki, Finland. And when we came back, we recommended that in place of 1 Mi-8 and 1 Chetak, we must take 2 Mi-8s and let Navy take 2 Chetaks. This was accepted by Chief and later by Expedition, and that really helped us later. When we lost 1 Mi-8, we could still complete the task. I will just list out the main things which we felt and the third expedition felt. We were the first one. I can claim that we are the pioneers who planned everything, for the future expeditions and conducted it well. We were trained in high altitude warfare school of army at Sonamarg because we didn't know what all is going to happen in Antarctica and what are we going to face. We also planned progressive servicing of 50 hours, which was not being done earlier in Indian Air Force. We also prepared the list of spares, etc., that we can self-sustain in a place far up from mainland, whereby no technical support can happen. So we visited all the EDs and BRDs to collect spares. Pilots and crew, of course, were trained in 1 to 2 HF Bombay. The interesting part was training of maintenance team. We had one airframe, one engine, etc. That means only one person from each trade, 5 of them. And what we did is we marked the deck of the ship on tarmac in Hindon. And every evening we used to do training. And the aim was to change main rotor blade without crane by 5 people. And the interesting part was anybody who put his foot on the line was declared dead. That means he's gone overboard. And that means 4 people will change the blade. That is how the type of training we had done. It was very interesting. And when we reached there, we found crane is available, spacious, adequate space is available. So it was very, very comfortable for us to work on board ship. How to lash the helicopters on ship, we had never done it earlier. And also plan sea maintenance. Unfortunately, we had accident on the first operational day itself and we lost aircraft. We have N.M. Roy with us who will tell his story on this particular thing and how people survived. Luckily, all of us were very lucky at this particular thing. Antarctica, I will say, is a land of desert, snow deserts, vast open spaces, lovely penguins, wild but innocent seals, and protein-enriched fish. Number of incidents are engraved in mind. Such opportunities and visits to such places are once in a lifetime. I am indeed lucky. I will close my experience with a very interesting story for this audience that I had to get married after third expedition. My age around 28. So it was, I think, right time to get married. But I was told to repeat the expedition. So I put up the point that I want to get married and it will get late. Someone senior from Air Headquarters suggested that why don't you and your fiancée go on the expedition and get married there. So this will be the first Indian marriage in Antarctica. It looked very attractive for me and I also thought why not avail this opportunity. But then I thought a lot and I said no, I don't want to go like that. I said, you will send me for third expedition also. And they say, how come? Why you are saying that? I said, next time you will send me for delivery of my child to Antarctica. So I don't want to do 3 expeditions. So that is how I went alone for 4th expedition, which itself with Winkman and Rajan, who is here with us, he will brief. So I had a wonderful time. In 4th also we had one accident and fortunately we could recover the helicopter with the very, very, items or resources which were available on board ship. That is a mild shield plate, nut bolts of non-standard type, and we brought the helicopter back. I think wonderful experience. Air Force did a wonderful job as a team, and India, established itself as the first country who went and established a full DG, Dakshin Gangotri base, in one go. Thank you very much. Let's hear others. I don't want to take too much of time. And thanks a lot for inviting Krish sir. Wonderful. We keep seeing your photograph, that iconic photograph when you are jetting out to prove that Indian Air Force is available in Dhaka. Thank you very much.
Jimmy, take over for a while. Introduce yourself. Then I request after that Vinko Natarajan to continue. Yeah.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to all our super air warriors. And sorry, there was some issue with my laptop. Now I am on a phone and making things happen in spite of my inability to actually participate. So I am Sergeant Rao, sir, served in Indian Air Force 78 to 93, and we have been holding these webinars for the past 5 months, bringing out the best of our air warriors, starting from gallantry award winners to that of the excellent and adventurous, our Antarctica expedition. I welcome all our air warriors and other scientists who participated in this expedition and narrating with an excellent narrative skills. And I, as it is, there are members of a 13 members team which we are going to have today, including 3 of them are proud air marshals. So I may just read out the names of our warriors, the persons who participated in this mission, that is stalwarts in South Pole, Indian Antarctica sojourn. So Wing Commander V. Natarajan sir, he was the pilot there, twice participated, he is BSM and Sauri Chakra holder, and Group Captain Y.S. Das sir, pilot, twice participated, and we have Air Marshal V.M. Khanna sir, just now who now narrated about his story. We have our today's main host, Wing Commander S.S. Krishnamurthy sir, being the pilot of the helicopters, and Air Marshal K.S. Gill. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it, it seems. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, because of it. And we have Air Vice Marshal N.M. Samuel sir, D Chakra holder, and Group Captain Anand Madabushi sir was a pilot. Wing Commander N. Mohan Rai sir, flight engineer. Wing Commander N. Jatinder Kaul sir, then Met Officer Wing Commander N. Mohan Rai sir, flight engineer. Wing Commander Gauri Pati, Met Officer. JW Chandramouli Reddy, flight engineer. Dr. Sharad Mukherjee, scientist from GSI, and finally we have Shankar Malwade from Indian Navy. So these are the 13 members team which who are to appear and narrate their beautiful and legendary story. So we are missing now only Air Marshal K.S. Gill sir. So I welcome all of you sir and all the air warriors for this fantastic journey. And Krishnamurthy sir, you may continue with narrative.
Yes, thank you TBR. Nat sir, Wing Commander Natarajan, please go ahead with your experience. And after that, I request Dr. Sharad Mukherjee. He is a scientist amongst all of us. He joined us on my request. Hopefully, I hope to get 1 or 2 more scientists in the meeting in somewhere in August, September. Now, sir, Natarajan.
Morning, gentlemen. I left the Air Force in '89. I've been trained in the Mi-8 in Russia. The day I landed, the 71 war started on October 3rd. Unfortunately, I should have been along the veterans.
Just mute all of you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Kicha, can you hear me? Yeah.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah, Nat.
Okay. The first session was only second expedition naval helicopter. Weren't recce the area at deserting on the ice shelf itself. Subsequently, the stations were made on the hillocks. They are permanent. The Maitri, what we made, it sank in due course of time. It drifted away as a iceberg. Okay. The third expedition was tasked with 2 Mi-8s and 2 naval helicopters. Unfortunately, as Air Marshal was on a helicopter, is because of inexperience in handling underslung load. We were carrying heavy underslung load up to 3 tons, metric tons, under the helicopter and shifting it. The first 2 sorties were done by me. Unfortunately, we didn't have a practice with the nylon ropes supplied by Garware beyond our estimate. With the result, we require more power to hover to lift that much of load. The third sortie, the pilots were doing it, got entangled and helicopter lost control RPM and has to crash due to unavoidable circumstances. Anyway, our strong technical team, Mr. Khanna and Roy, those who are here, really I performed with 1 helicopter. Everyone gave up that we won't be able to meet their task. We flew from 9 to 6 every day in adverse weather conditions. We achieved it. I am sure the Air Force is really capable of performing. We gave the confidence to the Antarctic team, subsequent teams, yes, Air Force can do the unimaginable things. Though I was awarded Sauri Chakra for my efforts, I flew over the 200 hours plus. Really, it was worth it. My experience was really worth. Next time, the chief nominated me for 4th expedition also, so that it comes back safe. Okay, except for the unfortunate accident of the Mi-8, all the crew were recovered, of course. And with the strong support of technical team, we really achieved our objective. Thanks, Kicha, for bringing me into this thing. I have been a warrior in '71. Unfortunately, I just came back from Russia. I could not take part in the operation. I was posted to form the gate unit.
No, it is not the question of just taking part in the war. You were in the service. Experience. Yeah, you were in the service. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Wing Commander Natarajan.
Thank you so much, all of you. Bye.
Thanks, Wing Commander Natarajan. I request now N.M. Rai. he has got an appointment immediately after this. He has to attend a meeting. And I request him to take over, tell his story, and after that I request Dr. Sharad Mukherjee and request him to tell us about himself, about the scientific expedition, and also what the IAF was doing along with them. Yeah, go ahead, N.M. Rai.
Good morning to you all. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning to you all. That's a long time back, 36 years back. Third expedition took place in 1983. I don't know, somehow my life is like that. I was on the tarmac, came back after a sortie, and at that time Flight Lieutenant Sharma, S.K. Sharma, who came to the cockpit and says, "Sir, would you mind going to Antarctica?" See, I has not even heard of this place name. I said, "No, I never told no for anything. If the Air Force says you do it." That is how I came into this team. Yeah, later on I came to know that most of the spade works have been done by Air Marshal, presently Air Marshal Khanna, who was my colleague in the expedition. We had the whole expedition was given very high top priority because it was the brainchild of Madam Gandhi at that time, that we must prove India's scientific capabilities in Antarctica. Though we started the foray in the year 1981, the actual expedition, actual planning by the government, and established Dakshin Gangotri camp in the summer months of 1983 was planned by Government of India, and it has been monitored at the topmost level in the country, and also from the air headquarters side it has been monitored by very able officers like presently Air Marshal Sridhar and AVM Somnath. Very meticulous planning has been done. People have been selected. We have the contingent consists of 83 people, and we have members from the three wings of the defense forces. Plus, we have representatives from the national laboratories, institutes, and universities in the various diverse fields. And they have been included to do research work in glaciology, microbiology, meteorology, and oceanographic studies. The entire thing was coordinated at that time by Department of Ocean Development, we say that DRDO. So the team had a very intensive interactions to build team spirit. We have done high altitude warfare training to do survival course in the deserts, in the icy areas, and finally the team left on 3rd of December 1983, Goa, and after about 2 to 3 days of travel, we crossed the equator. Who were traveling first time on the voyage, it's very nice to see equator crossing ceremony. We had phenomenal, we worshipped Lord Neptune. Then after a short refueling at Maldives, we sailed through the roaring 40s. Gentlemen, this is the one has to experience in life. To see how is the voyage, how rough the voyage, how rough the ship has to take care. So these all the ships going to the Antarctica seas, they are high class. They are high class ships. What I said that the ships been strengthened, and because they have to undergo heavy rolling and pitching of the ship. So a lot of people fell sick, seasickness, and they say that during the seasickness time you eat and vomit, because you have to take food in to survive. So we all had very fantastic experiences. So with all this, We reached on the 26th of December the Antarctica coast. It's very surprising to see how the sea water gets frozen up and gradually become more thicker, and the navigation of the ship becomes very difficult. So we say that this is called the fast ice, which becomes gradually thick. Then finally the ship radar cannot find out how actually to board. Then we require the help of the helicopters. So by the helicopter, the crew, the ship executive, he flies with that. And they locate how to go to the ice. And find out which are the weak areas. So finally, the ship parked about 30 kilometers. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, we reached the ship. The ship is parked about 30 kilometers from the ice shelf, and the operation of building the base camp commenced. So we have pulled out the first helicopter out, and on 29th of early morning we did a test flight, and after that we declared the aircraft is fit for flying. We commenced flying. A lot of activities are going in the ship. People are very happy. They have a task in front of them. We have a limited time space. So all are the total network, whether it is scientists, Navy, Army, Air Force, everyone is together. They are all on the deck helping each other, loading the aircraft, taking the aircraft out. So we were flying. The aircraft we did that day 8 sorties very comfortably with a lot of inside load as well as external load underslung. We were doing massive underslung operation with the Garibald nuts items loaded. So during the ninth flight, we met with an accident. We were into the tailwind. So after startup, we took out the aircraft and came back into the wind for loading the underslung load. At that time, my captain told me, kindly go do your duty as a gunner. So now I was at the back of the aircraft on the clamshell door, lying down facing the cockpit. And I asked the captain. Captain came over the load. With great difficulty, we could hook up the load. Then I told him, kindly please take off vertically. And afterwards, there was no communication. He started drifting and the aircraft. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
So the outside, the weather condition was 25 knots wind, -8 degrees, and we plunged into the icy water. We were inverted. All the emergency escape hatches were below the water level, and I was at the back. There was some light coming from the top. I saw that through the light was coming to the perspex. Now I must say that wisdom prevailed. And the lessons learned during my jungle and snow survival course flashed back, urging me to remain absolutely calm and unperturbed. Aware that every passing second brought us closer to death, I knew that I had to act fast. After making several efforts and with my gymnastic skills at that time, I could break the perspex and come out. Yeah, I still remember that my headset was hanging. And I could hear Khanna shouting from outside, don't move. So that was the scenario. I don't know what happened. Yes, then I shouted to Sergeant Jadhav and Gupta to come out. Then we pulled them out through this broken perspex glass. Helicopter was sinking. Water was gushing through the tailbone. Pilots were in the cockpit. We caused them to come out. So we all pulled them out. Now we were standing, five of us on the sinking aircraft. Then I realized I am profusely bleeding from the mouth. So at that time, the naval aircraft which was doing underslung again. They saw us. Then they changed to the winching rolled. Now the panic struck Everywhere people are shouting, crying. On the ship, they were not able to do anything because they can't swim, they can't get into the water. I remember Commander Gill, I don't know what rank is he now. He was flying the Chetak helicopter and he had Commander Chandana without headset inside the aircraft as a winchman guiding him. So they lowered the cable and finally they hooked on me. We are all getting into hypothermia and I am dangling below 40 feet and they have taken me out on the deck. By this time, the people who were there, they got into hypothermia, aircraft went back, again pull up. Then the captain was complaining of back pain. He was been hooked to the winch and as he was clearing up, Sergeant Yadav pulled his legs. So now two chaps on the winch hanging a few feet up. Sergeant Yadav fell down because he couldn't hold the winch cable because of hypothermia, and because of that the captain also fell down into the sea. Now both chaps had a free fall into the sea. Due to the downwash of the Chetak, the Mi-8 sank. Now the other two chaps also in the sea. So none of them know swimming and we were not dressed up properly. Though we had immersion suits which was inside the aircraft, we were not wearing it except for a thick overall. Now the free fall chaps had fallen a lot of salt water. By then the lot of panic sets in. The boat crew, the ship crew lowers the boat. Doctor jumps into the sea, Dr. Major B.K. Singh. At that time, with an emergency kit, jumps on the boat. Boat reaches them. By then, the captain was floating with frothing mouth. They pulled him out on the boat, gave to mouth respiration, pulled all the chaps who were in extreme hypothermic conditions, injected them. Then we were in the hospital. The captain was unconscious for 14 hours. All fingers crossed. Everyone was shattered in the ship. Without knowing when, the ship crew says, when are we going back? So, in spite of the nerve-wracking experience, we started. We pulled out the second aircraft. By then, my engine fitter comes and says, "Sir, we don't have a bleed screw. The bleed screw, the bleed point nut was broken, was fallen into the sea when we were preparing the aircraft at Goa before the departure." So I told him, "Don't worry, we will pull out from the other aircraft." So now the other aircraft has gone into the sea. So he says, "Sir, how we will fly like this? Shall we declare non-ops?" I said, "No." So the ship engineer says, "No problem, so give me 2 hours." So I asked him, "Can you I said, "No, don't worry, we will fly like this." So we flew the rest of the sorties without any maintenance problem. The team did fantastically good work. And once we came back to Goa, then I declared the aircraft unserviceable. We said that this nut is required to fly out from Goa. Because till then I was the technical boss, used all my exclusive. So now that was the spirit. And I also must say that the team, when we'll say the national task is involved, we forget our uniform, we forgot our scientific qualifications, we all work. And we had only 26 days was available for us to build this Dakshin Gangotri camp, leave the wintering team back behind. So I had powerful such officers from the Indian Army. I think presently is a general At that time, your Lieutenant Colonel Sharma. I heard Sharma was telling, whether you are ready or not, I am going to stay back in Antarctica. This is the promise I have given to Dr. Arunachalam. Okay, that was the spirit behind how we worked in people in uniform. That's a great thing. We worked round the clock. We have the point to say that flying resumed on the third day of the accident with the help of the second M8 helicopter and the naval Chetaks. I must salute to Vinko Natarajan. They flew morning to evening. There was no night, mind you. We are all in 24 hours daytime there during that time. We built the Gangotri camp in 26 days. It was a period of high risk and adventure when we had poor visibility and feelings of insomnia and homesickness. With all this, we continued the task. I must mention here that in spite of the nerve-wracking experience of the accident, the details of the near-fatal accident was withheld from the media so as not to affect the morale of the families of the crew and the expeditionists. So we left Antarctica on February 29 to Goa, leaving behind 12 of our colleagues to maintain the wintering station, and reached Goa on 29th of March 1984. We have been received with the grand reception at Goa, and to conclude, we said that it was an eventful stay for all of us. Despite the accident at the beginning, the expedition was an unqualified success. India became the first country to set up a permanent camp in Antarctica within a period of one Antarctica summer, which displayed the highest levels of team spirit, cooperation, and leadership. We, the crew of the ill-fated Mi-8 helicopters, had been given a memorable second life, and I think none of us could ever forget the unexpected dip in the Antarctica Sea. And I will always cherish the priceless memories of this adventurous expedition to the magnificent icy continent forever. Sir, I have all that. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Over to Krishnamurthy, sir.
Mohan, we thank you so much, and our appreciation, all of you put your hand up in appreciation to the work it was done, though it is belated, but never too late to appreciate what we are hearing for in person. Thank you so much, Mohan.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, sir, may I request Dr. Sharad Mukherjee to be followed by Malavde, Shankar Malavde. These two people have a lot to say, but I request them to restrict and tell us what they did and what the Air Force did for them. And Malavde will tell what he did in addition to what his job. He was also a nursing assistant. Please, all of you, please watch out. Radio personnel. He was a nursing assistant assisting in an operation. So he will tell you. Now, Dr. Sharad Mukherjee, please. Unmute yourself, Sharadji, and talk.
Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you very much for, once again, thank you Krishnamurthy for including me in this elite group. As I said, I am an outsider. From that point of view, I got my first opportunity to visit Antarctica in 1995.